regulated from 14th to 15th January on all thoroughfares and in and around places of worship is prohibited. Now, the notification also stated that no loudspeakers or DJs shall be allowed in public places without permission from the police. The BJP has hit out at this, saying that kite flying needs to be regulated to prevent breach of peace. This perhaps is the Telangana's government, as there are restrictions on size, location and colors for Rangoli too. So that's a sarcastic sort of a comment that we have coming in from the BJP over that. And let's go across to Aneri to tell us more. Now, Aneri, to begin with, explain to us what this notification actually talks about and also tell us more about the opposition that the BJP has to it.
Well, Nupur, definitely we have been seeing how there has been a war of words between the BJP and the state government, and now this time we see that ahead of the Sankranti festival, which is one of the main festivals here in the Telugu states, well, we see that the Hyderabad City Police has now come up with an order, notification, where it states that as its festival on 14th and 15th, that they have come up with a prohibition of not flying kites near the religious places, as it would be a regulation to prevent breach of peace, and that is the reason why they have come up with this such order. But also at the same time, they have also continued to mention that no loudspeakers or DJs would be allowed until and unless they take permission from the police authorities. And now we see that the BJP state president Bandi Sanjay has taken to social media. He has hit it out at the state government, at the Hyderabad City Police, and also sarcastically he has mentioned that what about rangolis and other such things. So now definitely war of words between the BJP and the PRS here continues ahead of the festive season, where the Hyderabad City Police has now come up with a notification of they have issued an order saying that people cannot fly kites on 14th and 15th near some worship places, as it would be a regulation to prevent breach of peace.
Oh yes, absolutely. So as you are saying, of course, there appears to be considerable opposition that is coming in from the BJP. I think we've got Krishna Sagar Rao from the BJP with us on the phone line right now. Mr. Rao, good morning. Mr. Rao, the BJP, of course, has hit out at the Telangana government over these restrictions that have been imposed. So give us more details in terms of what is your primary concern about this?
So this is the height of Muslim appeasement. There is nothing beyond it. I don't understand why KCR is bending so low that he's actually might lose his weight, because the kind of appeasement he's doing for YC brothers is reflective in the kind of statements he's making, which are bizarre. How can he stop Hindus from celebrating their festivals? Especially Sankranti happens to be the first festival of the year, and it is the festival of harvest. And to ask people to not fly kites, not have the the deities being set up on the street corners, and to ask people not to play music which are of bhajans and the deity worship. So this is like, he has been saying that the central government mode and method of doing things, and the Bharatiya Janata Party's politics is going to create Afghanistan out of India. Now he's actually doing that in Telangana. He is trying to appease the section and try to make an Afghanistan of Telangana, and then he points at Bharatiya Janata Party. Right. He doesn't have any right. Bharatiya Janata Party condemns this kind of an attitude of undermining the majorities. It's not even majority, it's a secular state which allows people to practice their religion. Who is he to stop? Bharatiya Janata Party not just condemns, but it will reject any of the government's initiatives in this direction. We will ensure everybody enjoys and they celebrate the festival as always.
All right, Mr. Rao joining us on the broadcast. Thank you very much. So the BJP, of course, sees this as overstepping from the government side. Aneri also reporting from Hyderabad. Thank you for joining us on that. And here's a quick look at what else is making news this morning. Uttarakhand's Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami visited Joshimath to assess the situation on the ground, assuring safety to residents. Dhami said that the state government is closely monitoring the situation and evacuation is their top priority.
नहीं, अभी तत्काल रूप से हम 1.5 लाख रुपए की धनराशि फौरी तौर पर अंतरिम सहायता के रूप में दे रहे हैं सभी के खातों में। आज से ही उसको डाल देंगे। आज शाम तक जो है अधिकांश खातों में वो पैसा चला जाएगा, अन्यथा कल तक सभी में चला जाएगा। और उसके बाद जो कमेटी बनाई है यहाँ पर, वो कमेटी तय करेगी कि पहले भी आपदा के समय में जो लोगों के राहत के काम और पुनर्वास की जो व्यवस्था होती थी, जो रेट दिए जाते थे, उन्हीं रेटों पर हम अच्छे से अच्छा रेट यहाँ पर लोगों को देंगे।
Now, addressing a news conference, the Army Chief said that they are keeping a close watch on the situation in Doklam and monitoring all their activities. Further saying that the situation with China is stable but also unpredictable.
Situation in the Doklam. Now, without going into the specifics of it, I would only want to mention that we are keeping a close watch on the situation there and monitoring all the activities that are taking place. Beyond this, I think I'll not be, there is nothing else I can share with you.
Now, addressing a news conference, the Army Chief spoke on the situation in Joshimath. He said that at least 25 to 28 buildings of Army personnel have developed minor cracks and soldiers have been temporarily relocated. If needed, they will be permanently relocated to Oli. Owing to land subsidence in Joshimath area of Uttarakhand's Chamoli district, where buildings and structures are in a precarious condition after having developed cracks, a hotel named Malari Inn is to be demolished by the administration. In preparation for the demolition, the road near the hotel has been closed following heavy deployment of police and state disaster response force officials. Thakur Singh Rana, the owner of the hotel, has said that he is helpless and further asserted that till now there have been no talk of compensation.
वाले बिल्डिंग का होटल का इतना दबाव पड़ गया है कि मेरी बिल्डिंग होटल फटने वाला है और जब वो कोई दुर्घटना नहीं हो जाए इसलिए मैं लाचार और बेसहारा हो गया। मुख्यमंत्री जी से मेरी कोई न उन्होंने दबाव डाला न उनसे मुलाकात हुई, कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है।
Union Home Minister Amit Shah chaired a high-level meeting to review the situation on the sinking town of Joshimath. Shah chaired the meeting with Union Ministers Nitin Gadkari, R.K. Singh, Bhupendra Yadav and Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, participating on issues related to roads, power supply, water scarcity and environment in Joshimath in the wake of land subsidence. A team of experts from the National Forensic Science University in Gujarat's Gandhinagar visited the national capital's Sultanpuri as part of the ongoing investigation into the Kanjawal hit-and-run case. The Delhi police said, adding that that dummies were being used to recreate the crime scene. The 5-member team of the NFSU involves professors and forensic experts. A Rohini court dismissed the bail plea of Ashutosh Bhardwaj in view of the gravity and sensitivity of allegations against him and the investigation at the initial stage in the Kanjawala hit-and-run case. Now, also in the view of the case is exclusively triable by the Court of Sessions. The Metropolitan Magistrate Sania Dalal rejected the bail application in view of submissions of the Special Public Prosecutor for Delhi Police and allegations levelled against the accused, Ashutosh. The suspended BJP spokesperson Nupur Sharma, whose comments over Prophet Muhammad led to a controversy and triggered violent protests, has now been granted an arms license. According to officials, Sharma claimed that she had been receiving a lot of death threats in person as well as over social media and had therefore applied for a license permitting her to carry a gun with her for personal safety. In fresh trouble for the Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal, the Directorate of Information and Publicity has issued a recovery notice of 164 crores to Arvind Kejriwal and asked him to pay the amount within the next 10 days. After the Directorate of Information and Publicity's recovery notice, the Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal, the BJP came down heavily on the AAP government, saying that AAP uses taxpayers' money for personal gain.
दूसरे राज्यों के अंदर जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट की गाइडलाइंस का खुला उल्लंघन है, आप एडवर्टीजमेंट करते हो अपनी पार्टी का, अपने आप को चमकाने के लिए, लेकिन पैसा जो है वो दिल्ली सरकार दे रही है। जो नोटिस दिया है, मुझे लगता है कि तुरंत से तुरंत आम आदमी पार्टी को ये पैसा दिल्ली की खजाने में जमा कराना चाहिए और देश और दिल्ली से माफी मांगनी चाहिए।
You are with Republic TV, and up next, the Tamigaram face-off heats off. It is the DMK government versus the governor in Tamil Nadu.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
Step into luxury, where grace blends with grandeur and design blends with innovation. As your stress is washed away and you're transported in the lap of luxury. Cure European bath lounges. Let time wait.
ये कहानी 1947 में जाती है सर। एक नया मुल्क बनता है पाकिस्तान। जो ऑफिसर्स हैं इंडियन आर्मी में, उनको ये बोला जाता है कि आप चूज करें आप कहां पे जाना चाहते हैं।
मेरे पिताजी जनरल सैयद मेहदी हसनैन उस वक्त कैप्टन जब आर्मी के अंदर आए थे तो फर्स्ट गढ़वाल राइफल्स में आए। प्योर हिंदू सोल्जर्स कम्युनिटी जो थी पूरी, उसमें एक अकेला मुसलमान। उनके कमांडिंग ऑफिसर ने उनसे पूछा, बंटवारे के अंदर आप क्या चाहेंगे, किसी मुस्लिम यूनिट के साथ, मुस्लिम रेजिमेंट के साथ पाकिस्तान आर्मी में जाने की? जवाब जो था बहुत जबरदस्त। मैंने सोच लिया मैं उस देश में जाऊंगा, मैं उस फौज में जाऊंगा जिसमें मजहब के लिए कोई अलग जगह नहीं है।
रामचरितमानस या मनुस्मृति में जो जाति व्यवस्था और वर्ण व्यवस्था के बारे में लिखा गया, उसके खिलाफ है आप? उसके खिलाफ है?
मैं सीधी बात करता हूँ कि
नहीं, उसके खिलाफ है।
बात सुन लीजिए ना, रामचरितमानस हो या मनुस्मृति हो या गोवलकर का बंच ऑफ थॉट हो, इसमें जातियों के खिलाफ जो विसंगति का अंश है उसको काट के हटाना चाहिए।
एक आपने कॉन्सेप्ट दिया जी जनाब का।
I don't ever want to claim anything which is not done by me. I only cast my mind back to what General Patinkar and General Nirbhay Sharma had done. What I did was that I took the Ji Janab. Ji Janab was not about saying Ji Janab to everyone. It was just a symbol, a name given to an operation to say, understand the Kashmiri environment, understand the culture, understand the sensitivities.
Republic 47.3%, 394% more viewership for Republic TV than News 18 in super prime time. Content supremacy destroys the landing experiment. Republic TV, the All India #1.
The Kolar incident where a 24-year-old girl has been mowed down by a truck. This happened mainly because of the bad civic infrastructure. We are seeing that finally the authorities have woken up, and it has been over 1.5 hours since this particular incident has taken place. But will there be an end to Bengaluru civic apathy? That is something which needs to be seen, and many innocent lives are being lost at this point of time. So who will go on and question them? And
The former JDU chief is no more. Sharad Yadav passes away at the age of 75. Tributes pour in. Prime Minister Modi and Bihar's Chief Minister Nitish Kumar expressed their condolences. The Home Minister Amit Shah is in Rajouri, will be reviewing security arrangements and meeting victims of the terror attack. The Tamigaram face-off is heating up. Is the DMK government versus the governor in Tamil Nadu? And Delhi police likely to add murder charges in the Delhi hit-and-run case. Meanwhile, a report is submitted to the MHA. Well, thank you very much for staying with us on Republic TV. Now we are getting the first reaction of the Hubballi top cop over the issue of the Prime Minister's security breach that was reported yesterday. Now, the Prime Minister's security, the highest in the country, was breached yesterday during his roadshow in Karnataka's Hubballi by a boy who jumped onto the road suddenly and managed to get within arm's length of the Prime Minister. He was intercepted at the last minute and whisked away by the Special Protection Group, or the SPG, of the Prime Minister. Now, just to tell our viewers what had happened, the Prime Minister, of course, who was on a roadshow in Karnataka's Hubli, his security was breached during that roadshow after a 10-year-old boy rushed towards the Prime Minister to garland him. However, security officials managed to intercept him. At least that's what we are learning. Now, Modi had reached Hubli to inaugurate the 26th National Youth Festival and was heading to the venue in a convoy. It was a planned roadshow where the road was barricaded and the public was not allowed. Despite security by local police, a boy carrying a garland rushed towards the Prime Minister, who was waving his hand at the public. Now, the SPG of the Prime Minister immediately intercepted him and got hold of the garland and handed it over to the Prime Minister, who put it inside his car. The minor was later, of course, detained by the Hubballi police. The police over there, of course, have said that this is not a security breach, but obviously questions will be raised as to how a 10-year-old boy managed to get through that level of security, which happens to be the highest in the country, and almost reach within arm's length of the Prime Minister. See, there you see it. He's actually just next to the Prime Minister. So obviously questions are going to be raised, and perhaps some of those questions will need to be answered by the local police over there. Let's in fact listen into what the top cop has said.
ಅವರ ಹುಬ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಸ್ಥಳೀಯ ಹುಡುಗ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವನು ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರೇಜ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಂಥೂಸಿಯಾಸಮ್ ಈ ತರ ಜಂಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಅದನ್ನು ತಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಅವರು ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ. ಸೊ ಅವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಪರಿಶೀಲನೆ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬಹುಶಃ ಹುಬ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಸ್ಥಳೀಯ ಹುಡುಗ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವನು ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರೇಜ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಂಥೂಸಿಯಾಸಮ್ ಈ ತರ ಜಂಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಅದನ್ನು ತಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಅವರು ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ. ಸೊ ಅವರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಪರಿಶೀಲನೆ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ.
Now, that comment coming in from the top cop, he calls this courage and enthusiasm, but obviously, there needs to be more explaining done, because look at how close he got to the Prime Minister's internal. So there are, of course, 3 cordons of the Prime Minister's security, and almost reached the Prime Minister. He was within arm's length of the Prime Minister. So obviously, the police, which provides the outer layer of security, needs to answer as to how this happened. This is a clear security breach, even though the police says that it was the courage and the enthusiasm of the youngster. Now, claiming that there has been a slight increase in the number of Chinese troops at the line of actual control, the Army Chief General Manoj Pandey has assured that India is keeping a close watch on the border situation with China. Here's what he said.
India's army chief issued a big statement on India-China border situation. According to India's army chief Manoj Pandey, the border situation with China is stable yet unpredictable, and talks have been taking place to resolve the standoff on both diplomatic and military level.
If I were to summarize the situation along our borders, and I shall take the northern borders first, I would say the situation is stable and under control, yet unpredictable. You are aware of the ongoing talks, wherein we have been able to resolve 5 out of the 7 issues that were on the table. And we are continuing to talk both at the diplomatic as well as the military level. In terms of our preparedness levels, they remain of a very high standard. We have adequate forces, we have adequate reserves in each of our sectors to be able to effectively deal with any situation or contingency.
The statement comes on the sidelines of an event to mark the annual Army Day in the national capital yesterday. Chinese troops tried to intrude into India's territory last year, after in June 2020 when a fierce brawl exploded into hand-to-hand combat with clubs, stones and fists that left 20 Indian soldiers dead in the Galwan sector in Ladakh. China occupies 38,000 square kilometers of its territory in Aksai Chin Plateau, which India considers part of Ladakh, and is reportedly the main reason behind the face-off. Further claiming that there has been a slight increase in the troops near LAC, India reiterated that any unilateral change in the border status quo by Beijing is unacceptable.
We have been able to maintain a very robust defensive posture and prevent any attempts from our adversary to unilaterally change the status quo in a firm and resolute manner.
General Pandey also indicated that Russia-Ukraine war has impacted the supply of spare parts to India's military.
You asked what has been the impact of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. So we carried out this assessment, and I alluded to the aspect of our reliance on some of the equipment of origin from these countries, which currently we have in service. So the sustenance of these weapon systems, equipment in terms of spares, in terms of ammunition, is one issue that we have addressed.
While addressing the National Army Day, India has delivered a stern message that it is closely monitoring the situation along LAC and is ready to conquer challenges. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Here's the top international news this morning. Counter-terror cops and security services in the United Kingdom have launched a probe after a deadly shipment of uranium was seized at London's Heathrow Airport. The discovery of the shipment has raised an alarm over the possible use of Pakistan as a transit point for smuggling nuclear material. Taiwan's Navy showcased its first indigenous amphibious transport dock with helicopter landing, military vehicle and landing ships embarkment, and the military continued to hold military exercises stimulating joint forces against an invading enemy from the sea in the southern Taiwan on Thursday. India Thursday convened a virtual summit of more than 100 developing countries to evolve a uniform strategy for seeking help on economic woes. Indian Prime Minister addressed the summit virtually. The UAE has named a veteran technocrat, Sultan Al Jaber, as Abu Dhabi's state-run oil company will preside over the upcoming United Nations climate negotiations in Dubai. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine on Thursday updated that over the previous 24 hours, Russian forces have carried out 4 missile strikes, 23 airstrikes and 69 attacks from the rocket salvo systems. Police in riot gear began and evicted climate activists from a condemned village in western Germany due to be demolished for the expansion of a coal mine. Some stones and fireworks were thrown on Wednesday as officers entered, which has now become a flashpoint of debate over the country's climate efforts. South Korean officials are considering creating a domestic fund to compensate Koreans who were enslaved by Japanese companies before the end of the World War II, as they desperately try to repair relations with Tokyo that have worsened in recent years over historical grievances. Pakistan-occupied Kashmir is on the verge of food riots as a result of the region's unprecedented flour scarcity, It's being blamed solely on Islamabad and Pakistan's authority. Chaos has resulted from severe circumstances and some inter-group fighting has been witnessed in these areas. The people of Afghanistan continue to face endless difficulties since the Taliban's takeover. The current imposition of repressive policies by the hardline Islamic regime has led to food insufficiency, repeated violations against women and rising insecurity. It seems they will continue to fight many wars to fulfill their dreams. And people are mourning the death of a 21-year-old who was shot in the head by Israeli forces. Israeli army reported a gunfight between Palestinian militants and Israeli security forces at Balata refugee camp, acknowledging that a Palestinian was hit by Israeli fire. You are with Republic TV. We slip into a short break. On the other side, the Home Minister is in Rajouri today. We'll be reviewing security and meeting victims of a terror attack. And the Delhi police is likely to add murder charges in Delhi's hit-and-run case. Meanwhile, a report has been submitted to the MHA.
Republic 47.3%. 394% more viewership for Republic TV than News 18 in super prime time. Content supremacy destroys the landing experiment. Republic TV, the All India number one.
The Kolar incident where a 24-year-old girl has been mowed down by a truck. This happened mainly because of the bad civic infrastructure. We are seeing that finally the authorities have woken up, and it has been over 1.5 hours since this particular incident has taken place. But will there be an end to Bengaluru civic apathy? That is something which needs to be seen, and many innocent lives are being lost at this point of time. So who will go on and question them, and will there be any sort of accountability over here? That is something which needs to be seen.
ये कहानी 1947 में जाती है सर। एक नया मुल्क बनता है पाकिस्तान। जो ऑफिसर्स हैं इंडियन आर्मी में, उनको ये बोला जाता है कि आप चूज करें आप कहां पे जाना चाहते हैं।
मेरे पिताजी जनरल सैयद मेहदी हसनैन उस वक्त कैप्टन जब आर्मी के अंदर आए थे तो फर्स्ट गढ़वाल राइफल्स में आए। प्योर हिंदू सोल्जर्स कम्युनिटी जो थी पूरी, उसमें एक अकेला मुसलमान। उनके कमांडिंग ऑफिसर ने उनसे पूछा, बंटवारे के अंदर आप क्या चाहेंगे, किसी मुस्लिम यूनिट के साथ, मुस्लिम रेजिमेंट के साथ पाकिस्तान आर्मी में जाने की? जवाब जो था बहुत जबरदस्त। मैंने सोच लिया मैं उस देश में जाऊंगा, मैं उस फौज में जाऊंगा जिसमें मजहब के लिए कोई अलग जगह नहीं है।
रामचरितमानस या मनुस्मृति में जो जाति व्यवस्था और वर्ण व्यवस्था के बारे में लिखा गया, उसके खिलाफ है आप? उसके खिलाफ है?
मैं सीधी बात करता हूँ कि
नहीं, उसके खिलाफ है।
बात सुन लीजिए ना, रामचरितमानस हो या मनुस्मृति हो या गोबलकर का बंच ऑफ थॉट हो, इसमें जातियों के खिलाफ जो विसंगति का अंश है उसको काट के हटाना चाहिए।
एक आपने कॉन्सेप्ट दिया जी जनाब का।
I don't ever want to claim anything which is not done by me. I only cast my mind back to what General Patinkar and General Nirvay Sharma had done. What I did was that I took the Ji Janab Ji Janab was not about saying Ji Janab to everyone. It was just a symbol, a name given to an operation to say, understand the Kashmiri environment, understand the culture, understand the sensitivities.
Republic 47.3%. 394% more viewership for Republic TV than News 18 in super prime time. Content supremacy destroys the landing experiment. Republic TV, the all-in.
Welcome back. And now on to some sports news. The 2023 edition of the Hockey World Cup will be the fourth occasion when India have hosted the marquee event. Interestingly, it is in back-to-back editions that the FIH Hockey World Cup is being hosted by India and Odisha, having done so in 2018 as well. India first hosted the showpiece event in 1982 in Mumbai, while New Delhi played host to the event in 2010. Now, the tournament returned to India in 2018 and 2022 with high-quality facilities in Odisha.
The long-awaited Men's Hockey World Cup 2023 begins today. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, the Barabati Stadium in Odisha's Cuttack, packed to the rafters with 45,000 fans, bore witness to the spectacular trophy celebrations that marked the start of the FIH Odisha Hockey Men's World Cup 2023 Bhubaneswar Rourkela. The evening began with transcendental dance performance led by Odissi dancing legend Guru Aruna Mohanty's troupe that cheered on loudly by the local crowds. Culturally auspicious, the dance reflected the innate spirit of Odisha and paid tribute to its rich heritage. The official anthem of the World Cup 2023, Hockey Hai Dil Mera, was then performed live by the composer of the anthem, Preetham, along with 11 other singers. Hockey hai dil mera, hockey hai dil mera, hockey hai dil mera. Union Sports Minister Anurag Thakur, Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik, International Hockey Federation President Tayyab Ikram and Hockey India Chairman Dilip Tirke were present at the glittering ceremony to welcome members of all the 16 participating teams.
My name is Harmanpreet Singh, captain of Indian hockey team.
I am Akashdeep Singh, the striker of Indian hockey team.
मैं अमित रविदास, Indian hockey player.
My name is Neelam Sanjeev Kes, Indian men's hockey team.
The Honorable Union Minister Sri Thakur, the Chairman of the International Hockey Federations, and all the international delegates and players to Odisha.
Thakur thanked the Odisha government for successfully hosting the event in grandeur and said the enthusiasm of the people of India and the state showed their love for the game.
This is a great moment for India to be hosting the FIH Odisha Men's Hockey World Cup 2022. Every Indian is excited to watch the Men's World Cup Hockey Games. और केवल आयोजन ही नहीं हो रहा, कटक के इस मैदान में मैं देख रहा हूं कि दुनिया भर में वर्ल्ड कप हॉकी के जितने आयोजन हुए होंगे, सबसे भव्य आयोजनों में से एक और ये आपकी आवाज, ये यहां की हुंकार बता रही है कि ओडिशा में और इंडिया में हॉकी को कितना प्रेम किया जाता है।
Hour-long opening ceremony was preceded and succeeded by colorful cultural programs that kept mesmerizing the packed audience. Fireworks were lit. Artists from around the globe participated in the inauguration ceremony. And now, ahead of the first match today, host team trains ahead of the ball rolling. Remember, the matches would be held at the Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar and Birsa Munda Stadium in Rourkela in Odisha. With India's National Sports World Cup beginning today, which team are you rooting for? It's a Bureau Report for Republic TV.
And the face-off between the Tamil Nadu government and the governor is heating up. We get you details.
आप रामचरितमानस या मनुस्मृति में जो जाति व्यवस्था और वर्ण व्यवस्था के बारे में लिखा गया, उसके खिलाफ है आप? उसके खिलाफ है?
मैं सीधी बात करता हूँ कि
नहीं, उसके खिलाफ है।
बात सुन लीजिए ना, रामचरितमानस हो या मनुस्मृति हो या गोबलकर का बंच ऑफ थॉट हो, इसमें जातियों के खिलाफ जो विसंगति का अंश है उसको काट के हटाना चाहिए।
एक आपने कॉन्सेप्ट दिया जी जनाब का।
I don't ever want to claim anything which is not done by me. I only cast my mind back to what General Patinkar and General Nirbhay Sharma had done. What I did was that I took the Ji Janab. Ji Janab was not about saying Ji Janab to everyone. It was just a symbol, a name given to an operation to say, understand the Kashmiri environment, understand the culture, understand the sensitivities.
Republic 47.3%, 394% more viewership for Republic TV than News 18 in super prime time. Content supremacy destroys the landing experiment. Republic TV, the All India number one.
The Kolar incident where a 24-year-old girl has been mowed down by a truck. This happened mainly because of the bad civic infrastructure. We are seeing that finally the authorities have woken up, and it has been over 1.5 hours since this particular incident has taken place. But will there be an end to Bengaluru civic apathy? That is something which needs to be seen, and many innocent lives are being lost at this point of time. So who will go on and question them, and will there be any sort of accountability over here? That is something which needs to be seen.
ये कहानी 1947 में जाती है सर। एक नया मुल्क बनता है पाकिस्तान। जो ऑफिसर्स हैं इंडियन आर्मी में, उनको ये बोला जाता है कि आप चूज करें आप कहां पे जाना चाहते हैं।
मेरे पिताजी जनरल सैयद मेहदी हसनैन उस वक्त कैप्टन जब आर्मी के अंदर आए थे तो फर्स्ट।
And here's a look at some more top news in brief. Prime Minister Modi is set to inaugurate the world's longest river cruise in Grand Cultural Program in Varanasi, covering a journey of 3,200 kilometers in 50 days and passing through 27 river systems in India and Bangladesh. The cruise ship will give tourists a chance to visit over 50, including World Heritage Sites. The Union Home Minister Amit Shah will visit Rajouri district to review the ground situation days after terror attacks left 7 people dead. The Home Minister will visit the spot where the terror attacks happened and meet the family members of the victims. You are watching Republic, and on the other side, we bring you more details of the Home Minister's visit to Rajouri.
ये कहानी 1947 में जाती है सर। एक नया मुल्क बनता है पाकिस्तान। जो ऑफिसर्स हैं इंडियन आर्मी में, उनको ये बोला जाता है कि आप चूज करें आप कहां पे जाना चाहते हैं।
मेरे पिताजी जनरल सैयद मेहदी हसनैन उस वक्त कैप्टन जब आर्मी के अंदर आए थे तो फर्स्ट गढ़वाल राइफल्स में आए। प्योर हिंदू सोल्जर्स कम्युनिटी जो थी पूरी, उसमें एक अकेला मुसलमान। उनके कमांडिंग ऑफिसर ने उनसे पूछा, बंटवारे के अंदर आप क्या चाहेंगे, किसी मुस्लिम यूनिट के साथ, मुस्लिम रेजिमेंट के साथ पाकिस्तान आर्मी में जाने की? जवाब जो था बहुत जबरदस्त। मैंने सोच लिया मैं उस देश में जाऊंगा, मैं उस फौज में जाऊंगा जिसमें मजहब के लिए कोई अलग जगह नहीं है।
आप रामचरितमानस या मनुस्मृति में जो जाति व्यवस्था और वर्ण व्यवस्था के बारे में लिखा गया उसके खिलाफ है आप? उसके खिलाफ है?
मैं सीधी बात करता हूँ कि
नहीं, उसके खिलाफ है।
बात सुन लीजिए ना, रामचरितमानस हो या मनुस्मृति हो या गोबलकर का बंच ऑफ थॉट हो, इसमें जातियों के खिलाफ जो विसंगति का अंश है उसको काट के हटाना चाहिए।
एक आपने कॉन्सेप्ट दिया जी जनाब का।
I don't ever want to claim anything which is not done by me. I only cast my mind back to what General Patinkar and General Nirbhay Sharma had done. What I did was that I took the Ji Janab. Ji Janab was not about saying Ji Janab to everyone. It was just a symbol, a name given to an operation to say, understand the Kashmiri environment, understand the culture, understand the sensitivities.
Republic 47.3%, 394% more viewership for Republic TV than News 18 in super prime time. Content supremacy destroys the landing experiment. Republic TV, the All India #1.
The Kolar incident where a 24-year-old girl has been mowed down by a truck. This happened mainly because of the bad civic infrastructure. We are seeing that finally the authorities have woken up, and it has been over 1.5 hours since this particular incident has taken place. But will there be an end to Bengaluru civic apathy? That is something which needs to be seen, and many innocent lives are being lost at this point of time. So who will go on and question them, and will there be any sort of accountability over here? That is something which needs to be seen.
ये कहानी 1947 में जाती है सर। एक नया मुल्क बनता है पाकिस्तान। जो ऑफिसर्स हैं इंडियन आर्मी में, उनको ये बोला जाता है कि आप चूज करें आप कहां पे जाना चाहते हैं।
मेरे पिताजी जनरल सैयद मेहदी हसनैन उस वक्त कैप्टन जब आर्मी के अंदर आए थे तो फर्स्ट गढ़वाल राइफल्स में आए। प्योर हिंदू सोल्जर्स कम्युनिटी जो थी पूरी, उसमें एक अकेला मुसलमान। उनके कमांडिंग ऑफिसर ने उनसे पूछा, बंटवारे के अंदर आप क्या चाहेंगे, किसी मुस्लिम यूनिट के साथ, मुस्लिम रेजिमेंट के साथ?
The headlines at this hour: Prime Minister Modi to flag off world's longest river cruise, MV Ganga Vilas today. Home Minister Amit Shah in Rajouri will review security and meet the victims of the recent terror attacks there. Controversy over flying of kites in Telangana. Police issue notification. BJP hits out at KCR government. Delhi cops likely to add murder charges in Delhi hit and run case. Meanwhile, report has been submitted to the Ministry of Home Affairs. Former JDU chief Sharad Yadav passes away. He was 75, tributes pouring from across the country. Hello and welcome. It's time now for some live and breaking news. Here you're watching Republic TV. I'm Rukma with you. And in the top story that we begin with, due to landslides, related cracks have started creeping in and appearing in nearly 700 homes. They're clearly visible in these homes. Roads along with hotels and hospitals are present along this area where cracks are showing in the construction. Slow subsidence visible is up to 9 centimeters within the Joshimath town, and this has been recorded over a period of 7 months. That's what we're hearing. That's the breaking news. Between April and November, these cracks had already started developing before the administration swung into action. And between 27 December last year and the 8th of January this year, a rapid subsidence was triggered. The region subsided around 5 centimeters within a span of just a few days, and the aerial extent of subsidence has also increased. But it is confined to the central part of Joshimath town. So this is a report of the kind of satellite visual that shows, there's an ISRO report, ISRO satellites revealing this was how the subsidence happened in the sinking town of Joshimath in Uttarakhand, which is now on the brink as cracks have started appearing, not just in buildings but on roads as well. The government has undertaken a massive evacuation effort. Many families have been evacuated from the area. The process for more is underway. And these are the satellite visuals from ISRO that show the reality of what happened in Joshimath. Satellite visuals from ISRO showing details of the sinking of Joshimath, what geologists call land subsidence in the hill town of Joshimath, even now known as the gateway to Badrinath. Now, amid the biting cold, residents here are facing huge cracks that are developing not just in their homes and buildings and hotels around them, but also on the streets. It's over across to Samiksha, who's joining us from the Mumbai newsroom. Samiksha, it's over to you. Satellite visuals now showing the reality of Joshimath. Tell us more.
Well, absolutely, Rukma. It's absolutely a very worrying situation, to say the least. Now, these satellite images show that how there has been a steady rise in terms of, land subsidence, which we've seen over the years. In fact, in just 12 days, to say the least, the subsidence has been around 5 centimeter, which is exactly which is precisely the matter of concern here. In fact, just to read out the observations that have been made in these satellite images that have been released by the ISRO, which states that slow subsidence of up to 9 centimeters within the Joshimath town is recorded over a period of 7 months. So in the 7 months time, we've seen a subsidence of approximately 9 centimeters, but in a span of just 12 days, we've seen that subsidence of more than 5 centimeters. So you can see the differentiation here. 7 months for that almost 9 centimeters of subsidence, but only 12 days for that 5 centimeter of subsidence to take place. In fact, what's even more worrying is the fact that the ISRO has said that it could lead to an entire extinction of the town, and the entire town could sink as well. In fact, just to read out those observations that have been made by ISRO in the satellite images that have been released, which states that between 27th of December to 8th of January, as per the eyewitness reports, a rapid subsidence event was triggered. In fact, let's just move to the surface and show to our viewers how this land subsidence has been happening in the last 12 days. This report which states that the region subsided around 5 centimeters within a span of a few days, and the aerial extent of subsidence has also increased, but it is confined to the central part of Joshimath town. Not just this, the observation here also mentions that the region subsided around 5 centimeters within a span of few days, and the real extent of the subsidence has also increased. A subsidence zero resembling a generic landslide shape was also identified. The crown of the subsidence is located near the Joshimath Oli Road at a height of approximately 2,180 meters. Analysis of the the satellite images is ongoing to identify the landslide, and results will be further updated. But yes, a matter of concern, Rukma, here that again, to just reiterate that point, it took 7 months for that 9 centimeters of subsidence to take place, and only 12 days for that subsidence, for that 9 centimeters of subsidence to take place. So very grim situation there. Not to spread any panic, but yes, concerns there being flagged by the ISRO as well.
And joining me now is Anuj, my colleague from the ground. Samiksha, stay with us. We also have with us Anuj to take us through the ground realities there as it's happening. Anuj, it's over to you for an overview of the situation. ISRO satellites reveal an alarming picture. Land subsidence of 5 centimeters. That's what you're hearing within a period of just 12 days. Massive evacuation efforts underway, we believe. Tell us more. Over to you, Anuj.
Well, exactly. This is the latest what we have been told, that ISRO has now given the alarming situation and made it clear that what has happened in the last 12 days. And as we are reporting on the ground, let me tell you, the situation is getting more than worse, because it is shifting now. And that is why the main focus of the government and the state authorities and the state government and the central government was to evacuate the people. Let me tell you, this is 723 family nearby almost, who has been already evacuated at this point in time. I'm reporting from the ground. Let me tell you that these all are the places which is one of the most affected area, and the people from there has been already evacuated. We have seen the shelter homes, we have seen the areas where these people has been taken. There are hotels which has been acquired by the state government and the state authorities, so that these people can be relocated over there. If we talk about the dismantling of that particular hotel, which is obviously also shifting, there are 2 hotels. One is Mount View and another hotel. Then that also has been already started yesterday, and the people has been already evacuated. The area is getting empty because ISRO has now made it clear that what exactly the situation on the ground is. And let me also tell you, if we talk about the relocation or about the people, the compensation, then this all has been discussed. We have seen the meetings after meeting. This was another, but the Chief Minister himself, who was here on the ground, he stayed for a night, and next day he took many meetings with the officials as well as with the administration's senior most officials. So there it has been decided. He has been meeting with the representative of the locals also, so it has been decided that how to go ahead. So the fund already has been decided. 45 crore is the amount which has been decided by the state government. Today it is going to be another important meeting of the cabinet. Then this is going to be like the further discussion whether it has to be increased. What is expected is, yes, this is going to be increased. And if we talk about the facilities, then yes, this has been all kept in mind, because this is none other but the Chief Minister himself, who was on the ground taking note of the situation, meeting the people, meeting the officials from the administration. So he has knowledge of everything, like what exactly the people of Joshimath is looking for and how the things has to be taken ahead. So that's something what we have been told. Now this is going to be the final meeting today. This is going to be the cabinet meeting. Even the central is keeping a very close eye on the situation, as ISRO has given the alarming situation. Now let me tell you that earlier we have seen the intervention of PMO directly. PMO is monitoring the situation. On the other hand, this is the MHA who is keeping a very tight eye on the situation on the ground. State government is on alert. So that's something what we are seeing to control the situation. The evacuation process was the first priority, and almost 723 families have been already evacuated. 1,50,000 rupees is the amount which has been released to the people, like has been offered to the people or will be given to the people as an initiative amount, and later it is going to be decided about exactly has to be the figure. But if you want to relocate, if you want to take your luggages, if you want to take your belongings to some of your relative or any other places, this is something what has been decided. For that purpose also, this 1,50,000 rupees has been considered, has been discussed to give it to the people of the Joshimath. That's something what we are seeing from the ground. Yesterday, it was Pushkar Singh Dhami who had meetings with the locals also. So there was some dissatisfaction with the locals, but now this has been already done and the people are satisfied with the move of the state government. Yes.
Right. Right, Anuj, well, you keep your eyes on that story. So massive evacuation efforts have been undertaken, could be undertaken, even as the state government struggles to deal with the crisis of an entire town that's sinking. Those satellite images that you can see on your screens revealing the ground reality. Joining me from our Mumbai studios was my colleague Samiksha, and also with us from Joshimath, my colleague Anuj there. Those are the satellite visuals that reveal the shocking reality. Within 12 days, this was a town that sank almost 5 centimeters. Let's move on now to other top stories that we're tracking. Prime Minister Narendra Modi all set to inaugurate the world's longest river cruise and also grace a cultural program in Varanasi. The cruise covers a journey of 3,200 kilometers in 50 days, passes through 27 river systems in India and in Bangladesh. The ship will give tourists a chance to visit over 50 architecturally important places, including World Heritage Sites. Union Home Minister Amit Shah to visit Rajouri to review the ground situation days after terror attacks left 7 people dead. The Home Minister will visit the spot where the attacks happened and meet family members of the victims. And sloganeering raised in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri district. The accused is linked to the national conference. Meanwhile, police have initiated an investigation into the matter. Former Union Minister and Rashtriya Janata Dal leader Sharad Yadav passes away at the age of 75 at a private hospital in Gurugram. He was suffering from health-related ailments. Taking a veiled attack at the BJP, Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao stokes a major controversy, says religious and caste fanaticism and divisiveness in society would lead to undesirable circumstances and a Taliban-like situation. CBI conducts searches at residence of former Finance Secretary Arvind Mayaram in connection with alleged corruption case. In fresh attack against Mohan Bhagwat, AIMIM chief says RSS has not contributed towards the freedom struggle of India. Further questions Bhagwat's remark, asking if he would teach him how to follow Islam now. Amid widespread condemnation, India condemns the terror attack in Kabul that took place outside the Taliban Foreign Ministry, extends its deepest condolences to the bereaved families of the victims. Remember, the blast killed at least 5 and injured many others. Breaking news coming in. After Mohan Bhagwat of the RSS's speech on secularism launching a scathing attack, AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi has hit out against some of Mohan Bhagwat's statements, saying Bhagwat has targeted the Muslim community. In his interview, he thinks that we do not understand English. You speak of Islamic supremacy. And what about Aryan supremacy? Should I learn from Mohan Bhagwat? Would Mohan Bhagwat now teach me how to follow Islam? These are the questions that the AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi has hit out with against the statements made by Mohan Bhagwat. This comes after certain comments that the RSS chief had made about Islam and about secularism. The AIMIM chief now coming out against Mohan Bhagwat.
कि 2024 के पार्लियामेंट इलेक्शन की तैयारी आरएसएस के सरबरा सर संचालक ने शुरू कर दिया और 2024 में दोबारा बीजेपी को इख्तिदार पर लाने के लिए आरएसएस के सर संचालक ने अपनी आरएसएस की एक मैगजीन ऑर्गेनाइजर में एक इंटरव्यू में बहुत सी बातें कह दी। निशाना मुसलमान थे और वो ये समझ रहे हैं कि निशाना मुसलमान को बनाकर वो भारत में दोबारा 2024 में बीजेपी को पार्लियामेंट में कामयाब करेंगे। मोहन भागवत ने अपने इंटरव्यू में कहा, क्या कहा था उन्होंने कि मुसलमानों को, भारत के मुसलमानों को अपने इस्लाम की बालादस्ती को छोड़ना है। Full 11 centuries have passed by since then. Islam has now a great claim on the soil of India as Hinduism has. यानी 1100 सदियां बीत गई हैं। जितना हक इस्लाम को इस भारत की सरजमीन पर है, उतना ही हक है जितना हमारे हिंदू भाइयों को है। मोहन भागवत ये किसने कहा था? क्या इस्लाम की बालादस्ती का दर्ज था जो कह रहा था कि 1100 साल से हमारे कारवान यहां पर आए, हमने अपने खजाने भारत को दिए, भारत में भी खजाने थे। जिस तरह गंगा और यमुना निकलकर संगम बनता है, किसने कहा ये बातें? मोहन भागवत। ये बातें तकरीर थी मौलाना अबुल कलाम आजाद की।
Joining me now is Aneri to tell us more, to put this into perspective. Aneri, we were just listening to that fiery speech by Asaduddin Owaisi. He is reacting to particular statements that were made by the RSS chief. To give us some context, a bit of the background, so that our viewers would be more aware of the significance of Owaisi's speech.
Well, that's right, Yukma. We have been seeing that this controversial statement which comes from OAC, this is days after RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat had made a comment and he had stated that Islam has nothing to fear, and also at the same time he had made a few other comments in regard with how there is a need. And also at the same time, now we see AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi hitting out at the Bharatiya Janata Party and also at the RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat, where he says that will now Mohan Bhagwat teach us Islam? Will Mohan Bhagwat teach us how, from where to start and where to end reading Quran? And also at the same time, we have been seeing that AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi has stated that this comment of Mohan Bhagwat comes as a preparation for the Bharatiya Janata Party for the 2024 elections, and this is a basic preparation which the Bharatiya Janata Party is doing, and that is why such comments have been coming in. Whereas he also continued to state that if he would have made such comment, then they would media would raise a lot of questions on him. But also, why isn't media now questioning Mohan Bhagwat is what AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi has been stating. And this is not the first time AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi has questioned. Day before yesterday, also we had seen how Asaduddin Owaisi had speaking to us on Republic TV. He had also raised a lot of questions in regard with will Mohan Bhagwat be teaching them how to teach Islam, and also at the same time he had questioned that why doesn't Mohan Bhagwat talk about the situation at the LAC, how China has been entering into the country is what Asaduddin Owaisi has been talking. And now we see during while existing a gathering here in Hyderabad, OAC attacks Mohan Bhagwat. He questions Mohan Bhagwat over various points being raised by Asaduddin Owaisi during a gathering.
Right, Aneri. So it's a clear war of words now, between the RSS chief and Asaduddin Owaisi. What are you hearing in terms of, how it's being interpreted by political circles, by other activists there from both sides? Are there any reactions coming in?
Well, Rukma, we have been seeing how days after Mohan Bhagwat had made this comment during an interview, we had seen that the Bharatiya Janata Party has definitely come in support of this comment, whereas the AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi and his party members had opposed these lines. They had also questioned how can Mohan Bhagwat make such comment on particular religion, whereas very clearly right now also when we were hearing the sound bite of Asaduddin Owaisi where he has very, very specifically said that Mohan Bhagwat's context was and the main aim of Mohan Bhagwat were the Muslims, were the Islam, and that is why we are seeing that Mohan Bhagwat is seen making such comment, but also at the same time, Asaduddin Owaisi raising a lot of questions in connection.
Aneri, we'll be coming back to you. I have to interrupt you now because joining me on the phone line, I'll be coming back to you. Joining me on the phone line is Shehzad Poonawalla of the BJP. Mr. Poonawalla, we were just listening to Asaduddin Owaisi's fiery speech, can we say. He was responding to what, according to him, he understood what RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat had said in his speech on secularism. Owaisi says, will Mohan Bhagwat now teach me how to practice Islam? Some pertinent questions he's asked, but how does the BJP respond to what Owaisi is saying? He's clearly upset by Mohan Bhagwat's words.
First of all, if you read that interview, that statement has been made in the context of a question on the population control law. And secondly, it has not been said about just one, or it has been said about other communities also. So I think Mr. Owaisi, who claims to be a barrister, should read properly. But having said that, look who's talking. It is the same Mr. Owaisi's brother who said 15 minute ke liye police hata do. It is the same Mr. Owaisi's brother who says कि हम मुगलों की संतान हैं, हम मुगलों की औलाद है, चार मीनार हमारे बाप दादा ने बनाए हैं. It is the same Mr. Owaisi and his family who goes and does secularism ka sajda in front of the grave of Aurangzeb. So, these people who have Muslimin in their party name today are giving and preaching sermons about secularism. They should talk about how they themselves have been responsible for this kind of mindset of inciting and provoking a certain section. And that is only being done for the sake of vote bank politics. And perhaps that is why this message has hit home and he is reacting in the way he is reacting.
Right, sir. Many thanks, Mr. Poonawalla, for joining us there and sharing your thoughts. So it's a massive controversy that has erupted now after Asaduddin Owaisi of the AIMIM lashes out demanding to know, will Mohan Bhagwat now teach me Islam? He says it's all about vote bank politics here that's happening. And coming up in a short while, Home Minister Amit Shah in Rajouri likely to meet with victims of the recent terror attacks there, also to review the security situation. Also coming up, controversy over flying of kites in Telangana. Police issue notification as the BJP hits out at the KCR government.
Step into luxury, where grace blends with grandeur and design blends with innovation. As your stress is washed away and you're transported in the lap of luxury. Cure European bath lounges. Let time wait.
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
Republic 47.3%. 394% more viewership for Republic TV than News 18 in super prime time. Content supremacy destroys the landing experiment. Republic TV, the All India #1.
The Kolar incident where a 24-year-old girl has been mowed down by a truck. This happened mainly because of the bad civic infrastructure. We are seeing that finally the authorities have woken up, and it has been over 1.5 hours since this particular incident has taken place. But will there be an end to Bengaluru civic apathy? That is something which needs to be seen, and many innocent lives are being lost at this point of time. So who will go on and question them, and will there be any sort of accountability over here? That is something which needs to be seen.
ये कहानी 1947 में जाती है सर। एक नया मुल्क बनता है पाकिस्तान। जो ऑफिसर्स हैं इंडियन आर्मी में, उनको ये बोला जाता है कि आप चूज करें आप कहां पे जाना चाहते हैं।
मेरे पिताजी जनरल सैयद मेहदी हसनैन उस वक्त कैप्टन जब आर्मी के अंदर आए थे, तो फर्स्ट गढ़वाल राइफल्स में आए। प्योर हिंदू सोल्जर्स कम्युनिटी जो थी पूरी, उसमें एक अकेला मुसलमान। उनके कमांडिंग ऑफिसर ने उनसे पूछा, बंटवारे के अंदर आप क्या चाहेंगे, किसी मुस्लिम यूनिट के साथ, मुस्लिम रेजिमेंट के साथ पाकिस्तान आर्मी में जाने की? जवाब जो था बहुत जबरदस्त। मैंने सोच लिया मैं उस देश में जाऊंगा, मैं उस फौज में जाऊंगा जिसमें मजहब के लिए कोई अलग जगह नहीं है।
आप रामचरितमानस या मनुस्मृति में जो जाति व्यवस्था और वर्ण व्यवस्था के बारे में लिखा गया, उसके खिलाफ है आप? उसके खिलाफ है?
मैं सीधी बात करता हूँ कि
नहीं, उसके खिलाफ है।
मेरी बात सुन लीजिए ना। रामचरितमानस हो या मनुस्मृति हो या गोबलकर का बंच ऑफ थॉट हो, इसमें जातियों के खिलाफ जो विसंगति का अंश है उसको काट के हटाना चाहिए।
आप रामचरितमानस या मनुस्मृति में जो जाति व्यवस्था और वर्ण व्यवस्था के बारे में लिखा गया, उसके खिलाफ है आप? उसके खिलाफ है?
मैं सीधी बात करता हूँ कि
नहीं, उसके खिलाफ है।
मेरी बात सुन लीजिए ना। रामचरितमानस हो या मनुस्मृति हो या गोबलकर का बंच ऑफ थॉट हो, इसमें जातियों के खिलाफ जो विसंगति का अंश है उसको काट के हटाना चाहिए।
Top headlines at 9:30. Prime Minister Modi to flag off world's longest river cruise, MV Ganga will last today. Days after Mohan Bhagwat's secular speech, politics continue. Owaisi now hits out. Home Minister Amit Shah in Rajouri to review security and meet victims on terror attack. Controversy over flying of kites in Telangana. Police issues notification. BJP hits out at KCR government. Delhi cops likely to add murder charges in Delhi hit and run case. Meanwhile, report submitted to MHA. Former JDU chief no more. Sharad Yadav passes away at the age of 75. Tributes pour in from across the country. Thanks for tuning in this Friday morning. We are live and breaking. We start with news break coming in from Karnataka. This one in relation to the Bengaluru civic apathy, which claimed lives of 2 people, and of course another incident which was reported yesterday in which yet another life was claimed as a result of pothole menace. Latest news coming in from Bengaluru, where the pro-Kannada organization staged massive protest against the BMRCL's substandard work in the city. Now remember this, of course, after 2 people lost their lives, which included a 2.5-year-old child in Bengaluru after a pillar that collapsed on them while they were going through that location. But the visuals there on your screens of the protest, they're being staged against the BMRCL, the company that was carrying out the construction work in Bengaluru. Prajwal joining us live for more details. Prajwal, massive anger there, and rightly so, against the BMRCL employees who were carrying out the construction work in Bengaluru.
Yes, Samiksha. Now, two incidents have happened because of the BMRCL. One where 2 lives have been lost, and secondly, where a person by the name of Puneet was injured near Shule Circle at Brigade Road in Bengaluru, which happened yesterday. So 48 hours apart, 2 lives lost, 1 person injured, and therefore the pro-Kannada organizations yesterday in the evening have garraved the office of BMRCL, and they also wanted to have a word with the BMRCL MD Anjum Parvez, and Anjum Parvez refused to meet them despite repeated requests, at which point of time this protest has turned out to be quite ugly. And right on the screens we can see the visuals where these workers, the pro-Kannada organizations have gone on to allegedly vandalize furniture there. But sometime later the BMRCL MD also came on and tried to have a word with them. But now the pro-Kannada organizations as well as the people are demanding accountability for this entire issue as well. Now on the screens, these are the second set of visuals where this is happening right inside the office of the BMRCL MD, because this is his personal chamber, and therefore when he refused to meet these pro-Kannada activists, they went right inside his chamber and then they submitted a memorandum to him after a few hours when the BMRCL MD finally had to come. Now, one of the major questions that we had even asked the executive director of the BMRCL, Siddhana Gowda Hegga Reddy, is doesn't the BMRCL have any idea about where the TBM is passing through, and these are open death traps which are waiting there to claim the lives of motorists, to which he was completely clueless, and he did not even give a definitive answer, stating that even he had no idea about it. So imagine if an executive director of the BMRCL has no idea about the tunnel boring machine and the empty pockets and reserves that it is passing through. What would the engineers or anybody else have is something that needs to be seen now, because the topmost officials of the BMRCL body saying that they do not have any idea about the roads where the TBM is passing through and which are loose pockets and where will the soil be connected, where will the soil loosen up as well. So we can also see many sinkholes in Bengaluru in the coming days, is what the BMRCL has gone on to indirectly state over here. So now we need to question about the lives and safety of residents, motorists and citizens of Bengaluru here, Samiksha.
Prajwal, stay with us. Talking about the accountability here, you spoke to the MD of the BMRCL, who did not take accountability per se, but you also spoke to the vice president of the BMRCL. Let's just listen to that exclusive conversation you had with the official.
Is very bad. See, actually, the blame has to be blamed by the principal employer, that is the BMRCL, and contractor. Both are held responsible for the events, because anything happens by the contractor, he has to look after the BMRCL officers and particular engineers. They have to look after the viability and quality of the work, safety of the work, and what are the parameters that have been taken as per the rules, as per the statutory warnings.